Hello guys, today we are going to start a new topic, GST new subject. So tally for GST. So today we are going to discuss about the introduction part. So now tally for GST, that is introduction to GST. So now first we will see one by one. So pre-GST taxation system. So before GST, what are the different taxes are there in India? So there are two types of taxes, direct taxes and indirect taxes. So now differences between direct tax and indirect taxes. So direct taxes means the incidence and impact will be is on the same person. That means we cannot shift the tax burden. Example, income tax. If I'm having 5 lakh, example 10 lakh rupees income, so on that income I have to pay the tax. I cannot shift my tax burden. I cannot shift my tax burden. So whereas in case of indirect tax, incidence and impact will be is not on the same person, it will be on the different person. So that means manufacturer, example, manufacturer is paying the tax, he will collect from the wholesaler. Wholesaler will collect from the retailer. A retailer will collect the tax from the customer, that is consumer. So now here the tax burden is shifting. First the manufacturer is paying, again he's collecting from the wholesaler, again wholesaler is collecting from the retailer. That means here the tax burden is getting shifted. But in case of direct tax, we cannot shift the tax burden. Examples of direct tax is income tax, wealth tax, gift tax. But this tax, now as of now there is only one tax in direct tax, that is income tax. Now we will see the next slide. So in direct tax he has given income tax. In case of income tax is levied by the central government only, so that's why he has not given the bifurcations. Directly income tax is levied by the central government. In case of indirect tax, some taxes are levied by the central government and some taxes are levied by the state government. So now which taxes are levied by central government, which taxes are levied by state government, we will see in the next slide. So the taxes before, these all are pre-GST, these all are before GST. So the taxes which are levied by central government are custom duty, basic custom duty, custom cess, countervailing duty, special additional duty, excise duty, service tax, product specific like automobiles, infrastructure cess and clean energy charges, research and development cess. So these are the taxes levied by the central government. Custom duties means it will be levied on the exports and import of the goods. Excise duty means when you are manufacturing the goods, at that time you have to pay that tax, that is excise duty. So service taxes means when we are receiving a service, at that time we will receive a tax, that is service tax. Other things are not that much relevant. So state government taxes are like VAT, value added tax, CST, entry tax, octroi, entertainment tax, luxury tax, stamp duty and registration fees. So now state government taxes are value added tax. So I am talking about only two things, value added tax and CST. If you are purchasing goods, or if you are when you are purchasing the goods, you have to pay the tax, that is value added tax, VATs. With if it is within the state, value added tax. If it is other than other states, example from Telangana to I am supplying to Karnataka, other state, so at that time I have to pay CST, central sales tax. The other tax are not that much relevant for our syllabus. So now these are the taxes pre-GST. Now we will see the next thing. So tax structure under GST. So now GST came into force on 1st July 1st July 2017. GST came into force on 1st July 2017. The main objective of GST is to remove the deficiencies which existed in the previous systems and to bring a common and uniform indirect tax practices across the country. Now, so GST started with a slogan, or a GST motto is one nation, one tax. Now see the tax structure under GST. What is the tax structure under GST? So CGST. CGST stands for Central GST, tax collected by central government, applicable on supplies within the state. If you are supplying the goods or services, actually GST means here goods and services both will come. So that is the GST. So it is applicable within the state. So if you are doing supplies within the state, then CGST is applicable. SGST. SGST stands for State GST, tax collected by state government, applicable on supplies within the state. Here also within the state and here also within the state, but CGST means the tax collected by central government, SGST means the tax collected by the state government. Next one is UTGST, stands for Union Territory GST. So same like state, but here instead of state we are talking about UTGST, like Pondicherry, Andaman Nicobar and Delhi. These are the some union territories. So when you are supplying within the union territory, then UGST is applicable. Next, IGST, when it is applicable means, so IGST stands for Integrated GST. Tax collected is shared between central and state, applicable on interstate and import transactions. If you are doing interstate transactions like Andhra Pradesh to Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu, or Telangana to Andhra Pradesh, two different states, we call it as interstate supplies. Within the state we call it as intrastate. Within the state, Telangana, example in Telangana, Hyderabad to Siddipet, both are within the Telangana. It comes under intrastate supplies. Interstate means Telangana, Karnataka. So both are different states. We call it as interstate supplies. Whenever there is interstate, then IGST is applicable. The next thing is tax subsumed under GST. So because of GST, what taxes are subsumed? So now excise duty, ADE, service tax, surcharge and cess, all these taxes are subsumed by CGST. All these taxes are subsumed by CGST. The next thing is VAT, purchase tax, entry tax, luxury tax, surcharge and cess. These taxes are subsumed by SGST or UTGST. SGST and UTGST both are same, but if it is within the state and it is within the union territory. The next thing is CST, CVD and SAD. These are subsumed by IGST. Now, CGST, SGST or UTGST, IGST, all this combined we call them as GST. The next thing is, so taxes not subsumed under GST. The following are the list of taxes. These are not included in GST. So in central taxes, custom duty is not included a GST. So custom duty is same as it is like previous only. So this is not included in GST. Other custom duties like anti-dumping duty, safeguarding duty, etc. These are also not included in GST. Export duty also not included in GST. In case of state taxes, road and passenger tax, toll tax, property tax, electricity duty, stamp duty and registration fees, these are not included under GST. Next, the tax structure. Goods not covered under GST. Previously was tax not subsumed under GST, but now he's talking about the goods. Which goods are not covered under GST? So now, first one, 5 petroleum products like petrol, diesel, petroleum crude, aviation fuel, natural gas, alcohol for so first five, these 5 products, petrol, diesel, petroleum crude, aviation fuel, natural gas, these 5 petroleum products are not covered under GST. The next thing is alcohol for human consumption. For this also previous tax, that is VAT, is applicable on these goods. GST is not applicable. So in case of power sector also, GST is not applicable. So now determination of GST intrastate. I said now if it is within the state, then we call it as intrastate. How to determine GST in case of intrastate? So now example, location of supplier, place of supply. If both of them are in Telangana, example we are talking about Telangana, if both of them are in the Telangana, then we call it as charge of tax, we call it as intrastate. So now whenever there is intrastate, so charge of tax will be SGST and CGST. CGST and SGST. I said now if within the state the tax has to be shared by CGST and SGST. The next thing is interstate. Location of supplier, place of supplier. Example, location of supplier is Telangana and place of supply is Karnataka. Both are different states. So then charge of tax will be interstate. Interstate, and here IGST is applicable. This is intrastate and interstate.